Welcome to the Guitar Department. I'm your host, Joe Alton. Today on this episode, we have Heath Alan, Des Moines legend. Dude's been around for a very long time. We have a lot to talk about. He's got a lot coming up, and it's going to be a great episode. I want to talk first about this guitar, though. We're holding a Breedlove. It's called the Rainforest S Concert BGCE. And it just rolls right off the tongue. But the reason I grabbed this guitar is that it's got this beautiful black finish, and I'm not sure how exactly they did it, but the wood grain on the inside here, underneath the finish, is a bright gold. It's got almost an Iowa Hawkeyes finish, you might call it. And it's just a gorgeous guitar, available at Riemann Music, and man, Breedlove just makes some good stuff, man. If you haven't tried a Breedlove guitar, head out and give one a shot. They're right up there with the Takaminis and the upper-ended Washburns. They're really nice guitars. Welcome to the Guitar Department. And we're back, and I'm sitting here with Heath Alan. Heath, thank you so much for being here.
Joe, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You've been on my radar a long time, and we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to start with the guitar you're holding. This thing is magnificent.
My friend Rich, who is a touring Taylor guy, when I destroyed the Taylor acoustic guitar that I had been playing for 30 years, he said I might be interested in this. So I've been working on this and trying to get it ready to play out, you know.
And so you're talking about our friend Rich Casciato.
Yes.
Who is, he was one of the first people I actually did a segment with on the show. He was the regional manager for, the sales manager for Taylor, if I'm correct about that. And so what you've got here, this is a hollow body electric acoustic with, can you take us through some of the pickup options that you've got on there? You don't have to demo all of them, but if you could walk us through it.
Well, essentially there's a good acoustic sound, which is what I wanted, and then and it can do the telly thing, you know. It kind of has more of a Stratocaster sound.
Yeah.
I can get a jazz box sound out of it. It's just really versatile, and I'll be honest with you, I don't take it out of the acoustic thing much. I like that sound. I also have Fender Acoustasonics that I play out with a lot in a looping show that I do, and those I'll A-B back and forth to solo with, because they're tellies. Mm-hmm. But this is just an all-around good guitar. The tone is warm. It's really nice bounce. You can see how it decays is very natural.
Yeah, it does have a nice little natural decay and reverb to it too.
Yeah, that's partially this Fishman amp, which is also terrific. It's the Loud Box Performer, so it's the big one. It has, you know. So
I don't know if they can see it on camera, but we've got the Loudbox Mini here in front of us, and so it's about double the size of this one, and it's sitting there behind you.
But these do the job too. These are, I mean, for most stuff, that's all I would need.
Yeah, these are the fantastic amps. This one we took from Riemann Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just fantastic. If you're out there looking for something to rehearse and perform on solo acoustic, you cannot beat a Fishman Loudbox Series amp.
They should send us both one for free.
They should send us both one for free. Mediacom Studios, Des Moines, Iowa. Anyway, so this guitar, just fascinating, but it's not even really the highlight here. Well, before we move on to the next guitar, because you do have another cool one sitting just to your left, you were telling me about some pickup options. You've got the lipstick pickup here under the strings, but you were saying there's a piezo in the bridge.
There's a piezo in the bridge, and then there is another condenser microphone up here.
Okay.
And the blending, it also, the tone knob becomes kind of a selector for different pre-programmed sounds. And I'm just not that interested in, if I find one sound that I like, that's really what I want my sound to be. Right. You know, I'm not too hung up on the gear of guitar. I'm a saxophone player.
Yes. Is
kind of my thing, usually. And I totally geek out about reeds and mouthpieces and ligatures and different saxophones, and I have way too many. So for guitar, I just try to keep it simple because I just don't have time to practice all the instruments and be worrying about tone, you know. So if I find one thing, I basically just, there it is.
And I think that's really the spirit of guitar anyway. Even the people who have like a Helix, you know what I mean, or something super expensive, a Kemper, they thousands of options, unlimited options, and they'll find 2 or 3 that they like, and that's it. You know, it's the same as having an analog board, except maybe you prefer that sound over this, or the simplicity of plugging it in. But ultimately, no matter how many options you have, you'll end up on 1 or 2 that you really like, and sort of dismiss all the rest.
I want a guitar that sounds like a voice. You know, that sound, that, you know, I mean, I want it. That's all I'm doing. I don't practice like licks, and you know, I didn't ever shred the Eddie Van Halen or things. That's not, to me, it's just a tool to get a voice out. You know, very, very simple. And if it sounds pleasant, like a voice that a good tenor would have, or a baritone would have on low, that's all I need. You know.
So is that sort of how you think about tone, as voice and saxophone, and then sort of the comparison to those?
Yeah, very much.
Timbre?
Everything, really. Piano, bass, guitar, saxophone, clarinet, flute. For me, it's all, can I make it sound like I'm singing through the instrument? It's all I'm really interested in.
That's excellent.
Every once in a while I'll do some weird things. I have some pedals, and I'll like put a wah-wah on just to, for kicks and stuff, but typically I don't mess with any of that stuff.
And so when we were talking about having you on the show, one of the things you said, you kept sort of reiterating that you didn't feel like you were much of a guitar player, or that you didn't know if like your guitar playing was worthy of being on the show. And having heard you play, I want to put your mind at ease here that it's absolutely up to par.
Oh, well, thank you.
Educated or not, what you're doing with your hands is well informed and is definitely as musical as anybody else that we've had on the show.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, you know, being the guitar show, you know, which I love the show, by the way. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
So cool, and the musicians that you have. And, you know, I really hold guitar players in high esteem that can play the instrument really well, you know. And I saw you had Matt Woods.
Matt's
he just works so hard, you know. I get into any kind of music where there's a dedication to craft and really trying to take it seriously without taking yourselves too seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, the guitar is a wonderful, beautiful instrument, but it's just a tool. And so I don't ever really want to be that guy or anything, you know. I appreciate that stuff, but to me, the guitar functions in my life, and it's a joy, but it really just functions as a songwriting tool. I don't consider myself a soloist, although I can I mean, I know where the notes are and I can hear them, but it's not my thing. I'd rather do that on saxophone, you know, or where I can get closer to that sound I'm looking for.
We are definitely going to talk about your upcoming songwriting project that you have here. You have a new album coming out called Light Blue Hiawatha, and it's got a book with it and everything. But before we do, I want to jump to your other guitar. We absolutely have to talk about this thing.
Well, this was my grandmother's guitar, and it was bought probably around 1945. It's a K Blue Label made in Chicago, and my grandfather was a guitar. He was a picker and bluegrass musician, and all of the kids played and that kind of stuff. So he bought this for my grandmother, but she was never really interested in playing. And so my uncle Kevin, this was one of the first guitars, along with a '59 Fender Duosonic that he bought for the family. So those instruments now and a bunch of others came to me. So when I got this guitar, they didn't look anything like this. My grandmother would walk straight past this thing and I didn't recognize it.
I'm gonna say, it looks like it's all been refinished, and that's clearly a new pick guard. Walk me through what you've done here.
Well, Norm at Treeworks Guitar, who is unbelievable. Hi, Norm. He's awesome. He was like, really? This is going to be a lot of work? I mean, it had cracks in it. The neck was off. It was all warped. The first thing that he did was he put the body back together he put the neck back together. The binding was off of it. All of this was broken off, and some of it was missing. So he just basically put it all back together to see what we had. He put a truss rod in the neck. He replaced the inlays, which were some kind of formica or something, probably dangerous. And he put. I wanted these country western special pickups. They actually
those things are gorgeous.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah. And
they fit the aesthetic of the guitar, and they're really cool. They're lace sensor, the very high end lace sensors.
Okay.
And then he put in the mechanicals to work with the pickups. He put this Bigsby on, which is a regular, but works with kind of how the guitar is built. He put a block in here that would support the tension.
Sure.
And we had to cut holes in the body, but I'm never selling the guitar, it's mine. He put locking tuners on it, took the face off, put a new face in there with some binding that worked with the aesthetic of the album. So I'm going to be releasing 2 albums on December 1st. I'll have a release party at XBK Live on December 1st. And I'll be releasing this album, which is called Light Blue Hiawatha, and this is the Light Blue Hiawatha guitar.
Okay.
So that's why it looks like this.
And that's the inspiration for the title.
It is, and my grandfather and my grandmother met at a barn dance in Portales, New Mexico, and the music was country swing music. So the title of the album is Light Blue Hiawatha because she rode her bicycle, which was a light blue Hiawatha bicycle, through Nashua.
Okay. Is that a painting of your grandma?
This is a painting of my grandmother. I did not do this painting.
Okay.
Gary Kelly did this, and Gary's amazing. You can check out his work. He did a lot of work for Rolling Stone and The New Yorker, so we're really lucky to get him on board. So everything kind of had an aesthetic. So this, it has barn wood from the barn at my grandparents' house.
And you said you built the new pickguard.
Yeah, I got wood off of some of the wood that came off of the house, and so yeah, this is quite a guitar. And if I'd hate to tell you how much I spent getting this guitar, and it's probably worth a couple $100 to anybody else, but to me, it's got that thing. It's got that thing.
Sounds wonderful, man. That's a great sounding guitar.
And the yeah, I'm still getting used to the yeah, but it's cool. Yeah.
And I want to transition from that back into this album. So I don't know if they can see it on camera, but this is not just a CD case. This is actually a book. This is actually a book of artwork. And so we've got a ton of, is this one per track?
Yes.
So we've got one painting per track of the song and a whole book with the song title, I'm assuming?
Yes.
And then this one here says, "Letter in my pocket," and then at the bottom it says, "Your story is your story, make it a good one." What can you tell me about this project? The artwork, the album itself.
This was a grieving process. Turn of songs. My mother and my father passed away very unexpectedly, very early, very close to one another during COVID.
Okay.
And so
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So it was these songs had a lot to do with family, and my grandmother was a very religious woman, and right now the politics of religion in this country are just crazy. And so I wanted to write an album that metaphorically spoke to my children about life and death, and about religion, and about maybe how to take a different look at religion and form their own ideas about faith. through this process. So this is a kind of a heavy album, and I was very serious about the instruments are all family instruments that are being used, along with the Des Moines Symphony and the Des Moines Big Band and like 45 other great musicians from around here and elsewhere. So this is probably my most ambitious work to date. So I made paintings for each of the songs to accompany them, so I could give those to my kids. So it's just kind of a record to remember specific things. Life is your own story, and you do have to make it your story happen, or else somebody else is going to define what that means. And so there's a lot of religious undertones to ideas like that. So each one of these songs has something to say. Some with humor, some
Sure.
very dark.
That's beautiful, though.
And then the other album is just fun. It's the album, the second album that I'm releasing at the same time is called Tulsa Grass.
Okay.
And it's about, it's more of a blues record. And it's just fun. It's a very, very fun record. And Tulsa Grass isn't about pot. I'm not a big pot smoker or anything. But when I was little, we moved to Oklahoma City. My mom was a blues singer, and we moved to Oklahoma City for her to get a singing gig. And we stopped in Tulsa along the way, and I said, "Mama, the grass here is so beautiful." And she started laughing. I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, that's fake. That's turf grass." So Tulsa Grass is a tongue-in-cheek title. But for those of you that know my music, it's a little bit of a departure, but I think you'll like it. Between the two albums, there's bound to be something that you find interesting.
Well, we definitely are excited to hear both of them. How could the people find the new albums when they come out? They're not available for streaming or to buy yet?
No, and we're talking about that. I'm working with an advertising company about what things need to look like, but I've never streamed anything. I'm probably going to have a streaming service where I can sell everything privately. The amount of money that I've spent, particularly on this one, I'd be embarrassed to tell you how much money. I mean, all those 75 musicians on this.
Right.
And studio time, and writing charts and arrangements, and
well, and this one,
so I'm not going to give it away.
I really got to say, for anybody interested, you should really buy a hard copy of it, because it does come with all this artwork. You wouldn't get any of this with a streaming service. And it's definitely, there's pictures of your family in here. This all rings out as really personal, and it seems like a really touching project. I would encourage everybody out there to go out and get an actual physical copy of this album.
Thank you. Me too.
We're going to have to wrap this up, and we're going to have you stick around and play a song for us. Would you be willing to do that for us?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, Heath.
Thank you, Joe.
Heath Alan, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning into the Guitar Department. I've been your host, Joe Alton. I want to thank Heath Alan for being here. Thank you so much, Heath.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure to get to know you.
I'm excited about the album. Can you tell our audience how they can follow you, where they can find out where you're playing, when the album come out, all of that?
Yeah, you can find me at www.heathalan.com, HeathaLan.com. And I'm on Facebook, and that is Heath Patchell, Pattschul. And there's a Heath Alan one too, but we're trying to get rid of that. And just my real last name is Patchell, but I go by Heath Alan professionally.
Gotcha. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. I also want to thank Riemann Music for offering up the Fishman Mini that I've been playing through this whole time, and this absolutely gorgeous Breedlove guitar that we talked about at the very beginning. I want to thank our camera operator Matthew, our producer Jackson Miller, and I want you to follow us on Instagram at guitar_department and on Facebook at facebook.com/theguitardepartment. And with that, would you like to play us out?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.